Hi! Today I'm going to be talking about this book, Ragtime, which I have recently read by doctorow. It's a really good novel. I think it's a very relevant novel to today. I've never read something that's supposed to take place in this time period that I feel was from the perspective of like an immigrant or working class person or celebrity. I feel like anything I read that's supposed to be like turn of the century or like around the two world wars, I feel I'm always reading a war novel or I'm reading about internment camps or something where someone is like directly in the middle of like a major event or kerfuffle or being literally put into a camp or something. But this book is very much about like just like the everyday person, the immigrant, and the celebrity, and how all of them intertwine during times of change and political like friction, I would say. This was a very like hard time for a lot of people to come to terms with. There's just any sort of change, usually there's people who are not completely gung-ho about it, and I think that it's relevant because of that. That's why I think it's relevant, because I feel right now in the 21st century we are also going through a kind of metamorphosis, which also Ovid's works are mentioned in this book actually. And so that is really that's a very prominent theme, metamorphosis. I feel like this country is going through metamorphosis right now, and whether Doctorow knew it or not when he wrote this, he kind of hit the nail on the head with how it feels. There's a lot of stuff happening politically right now. No matter what news station you watch or where you get your information from, everyone knows there's stuff going on right now. And I feel like a lot of people are dealing with this feeling of fear of change and of what is happening. And so yeah, I think I very much related to this book. I loved that there was not really I've never read a book that was historical like this, that was so messy. I feel that especially Father's character, whenever he was watching the Inuit people have intercourse, that was so messy. Just all of this stuff, we are seeing directly into his mind, exactly what he's thinking. There's no censorship. He's these people are animalic. This is not right. Women should not be behaving like that during intercourse, whatever. And I loved, so sorry, I have a dog and he's kind of grumpy. So if you heard him sigh, that was what that was. But yeah, I enjoyed Emma Goldman's character. I loved that there was queer representation in this book, even if I really didn't expect that at all. I did not expect that going into this, but I really appreciated it because I am queer. But yeah, I think what this book really showed me was that however much we may think things have changed, everything can't always change more. In this book, obviously being queer was not accepted back then. it was just now, like, homosexuality was just starting to be talked about. Um, it was, like, it was not even, like, a term before the, like, I would say, like, late 1800s, the Industrial Revolution. It really wasn't a term before then. And that's because of Foucault and, yeah, his writings about sexuality. But I feel like I'm getting way off track right now. I feel like there was a lot of revolutionary stuff that was happening at this time. People were like learning more about sex. Women were starting to like stand up for like, hey, no taxation without representation. I want to be able to vote just as much as my husband can vote. I want to be able to work. I want to be able to do all of this stuff. I don't want to be governed like in this way. And like also being an immigrant was like such a crazy, it was a crazy time for people being an immigrant. You had people like Tate who like changed his name because he didn't feel like he was respected enough with his birth name, and changing his name did in fact get him more respect, which is actually kind of sad because it's like that was like proven, like it actually was true that at the time, like if you wanted to get respect, you had to like conform to like white American culture. And yeah, all this to say, like all of these things that were introduced in this book as like new, we are still kind of dealing with these kind of things. Like there are some people who like are uncomfortable you know, fully representing themselves in public as a certain minority or certain culture. You hear the term code switching a lot. In order for people to be taken seriously, it's still kind of true to this day that you have to represent yourself a certain way. And so I think Tate's story probably resonates with a lot of people that have to do similar things now. And also, like, I mean, homosexual marriage has just been like that was just approved in the law this century, and like it's still, I mean, there's still a lot of people who have certain feelings about it. So I just feel like when I was reading this, I was kind of just like, okay, this is literally just like, I mean, nothing has really changed. Like things have changed, but at the same time, there's always room for change. And there's always room for like a like collective metamorphosis. Like all of the fathers, I say fathers not like actual fathers, but fathers as in people like the character father from the book. All of the fathers of the world, like I think there is room for them to like come to terms with the change that is happening. And yeah, I am just kind of rambling at this point. I don't know if any of that was like a clear stream of thought, but overall this book was really good. It touches on things like kind of like mental health, like mother's younger brother, you know, I feel like there was kind of like stuff going on with that in his case, and then like sexualization of sapphic relationships. I mean, that's kind of been going on forever, and so that whole scene with him spying on Emma Goldman and Evelyn Nesbit is quite relevant. It's like, it's just a very modern telling of history, in my opinion, because obviously this is a fiction story. This has real people in it, like Evelyn Nesbit, Emma Goldman, Houdini, J.P. Morgan. All of those people are real people. This is a fictional story about like the us's of that time. Like, I don't personally know. I'm trying to think of a celebrity, just like a random one. I don't personally know Florence Pugh. So like I have my own separate life and my own separate thoughts, but at the same time, she is also living through a time with a lot of change. Even if she doesn't live in America, I don't think. And if she does, then definitely. But like, change happens in every country. And like, yeah, it doesn't really matter if you're a celebrity or you're not, or if you're an immigrant, you're all living through the same thing. So yeah, this just felt extremely modern, extremely entertaining. I will definitely be reading this again, not in an academic setting, because I feel like that will help me like enjoy the fictive nature of it more. I was very much honed into like knowing all the details about it and not just like enjoying it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Yeah.